Hello, Gerard Byrne, Volunteering North Queensland. Welcome to the latest in our sessions on Management Committee Essentials. Today we're going to speak about roles and boundaries for committees. In any organisation there is a committee or board that manages the organisation. What are the roles of those members in the organisation? The chair is the principal operating person within the committee. The chair serves as a link between the rest of the board and, if you have employed staff, with your employed staff, be it your manager or CEO. And acts as a board spokesperson. This gives him or her greater responsibility within the community group. So it's very important when you're looking at having a board chairperson, is not only do they have to be a good leader and a good organiser, but they also need to be somebody who's comfortable and confident to speak in public, and more particularly to seek out and have opportunities to speak to the media and engage with the media, so that your organisation is well represented. It should be noted, however, that this position does not exist in the eyes of the law. At law, the chair is merely another director. The law may, where it is relevant, acknowledge that other board members expect the chair to take a leadership role, but there is no legal distinction between the duties of a chair and the duties of any other board member. After the chair, the next most important person is probably the secretary. The secretary is responsible for ensuring that agendas are prepared, minutes taken, records kept, forms lodged and statutory regulatory requirements fulfilled. They should be on top of the legal position of the organisation and keep an eye on compliance issues. Like other board members, secretaries must be at least 18 years old, however they are not necessarily directors in their own right, and the task is often carried out by a paid employee. I think it's very important for the secretary that they are really aware and conscious of reporting requirements and obligations. Many secretaries think their role finishes with the minutes and the agenda, but their role is far broader. Last but not least is the treasurer. The treasurer's job is to monitor the group's financial processes and reporting. In a big organisation with a professional staff, he or she will provide a link between the staff and the board on financial matters. Make sure procedures are put in place to keep things running smoothly, draw up a budget and monitor the monthly accounts. The treasurer's role again is very important. It should not simply be a financial reporting role, but they should be reporting to the committee or the board on how the organisation is functioning. They should be focusing on cash flow so that the committee or board knows that they are not going to literally run out of money. You really have to focus on what the forthcoming commitments for your organisation are. In the current situation with costs increasing across a range of services, utilities, power, these sorts of expenses are increasing each year and eating into the general finances of an organisation. The role of the treasurer is more and more important in keeping tabs on how well the organisation is performing financially. The other members of the committee have various roles, but the chair, the treasurer and the secretary are quite discreet. You also need to think about with your committee about who has authority to make financial transactions, to sign cheques, to endorse payments. And you can't simply have one of the directors carry out that task. All of this must be documented and agreed to within your committee. Secondly, you must also have roles and responsibilities for other committee members, and that you don't have one committee member assisting others when it's actually not required. Otherwise this leads to conflict and difficulties in the committee. By having the roles clearly outlined and by keeping people informed, you will have more likely to have a successful committee.